Well then, welcome back to another episode on the Hypermine Unstable server. Today, here we are today, in the tree farm. I've managed to finish most of the building of the tree farm. And I've done a lot of wiring down here as well. I'm going to explain it all and then we're going to do some more. I've left it all open at the minute so that you can see what's going on where. We left it last episode with each of these farm blocks, or a farm block, all set, ready to go. And I've made all four now, set up the platforms. We've got dirt all been sorted out and water supplies all sorted out. Everything like that sorted. I've tried to keep the wiring underneath the half slabs, so therefore the occasional piece of bedrock has put these blocks that interact with the pipes slightly out of sync. So this one's got two there and then a gap because there's a bedrock and then another one, whereas this one over here's got all three on the corner, all nice and neat, all facing the middle because all the pipes go back to the middle. This one all three on the corner, nice and neat again, and this one because there's a bedrock just there, all three along this edge. And all we're doing is feeding a item conduct, a power conduct and a fluid conduct into them from the center. And the best thing about the Ender IO conducts is they all stack together in a single block, so all the piping runs round together like this all the way back to the source. And the source is over here. We've got a reservoir of water here making infinite water. We've now got an update. We're on 1.10 of Minecraft, and this is 1.10 unstable, which is very good already that they've modified the unstable pack to be 110. That's pretty epic. So yeah, all of this is 110, which is cool. And that means that we've now got an extra utilities upgrade, which we didn't have before, which was a liquid node. Fluid node? Let's have a look. Node. There it is. Previously, we didn't have the transfer node for fluids. We only had the transfer node for items, so I couldn't use a transfer node for fluids to make my infinite water source. And it's a bit cheaper than making this reservoir from Ender IO. But I'd already made the reservoir, so the reservoir it shall be for now. And the reservoir takes up 3 slots in the same way, and also the pipes and everything are all good that way as well. If I did anything different, I suppose the transfer node would have to go into a tank, and then the tank would have to go into Ender IO pipes. So I suppose it's slightly more efficient and compact this way round by a couple of blocks. Yeah, only by a couple of blocks really, but it's more compact, which is good. So yeah, we've got the water coming up here. Because I've got a couple of bedrock here, it kind of does a little up and over here. As you can see, it comes up and over. So the water supply comes from this tank and goes up and over and around and through the pipes to each individual farm. And then from above in this central section, we've got items going down into and then around and distributed to all the farms. And we've got power coming down and distributed to all the farms as well. At the minute, the power's off. I have had portable power source, or power like a battery, one of those capacitors from Ender IO over here. And the little trick that I've been using, which I would like to show you, I've put the fertilizer in here and had that extracting on channel blue, which means that it won't go into anything unless it's an input blue, right? So that means this input insert green will never take from one chest straight to the other. This blue will only find another blue import on the piping, yeah, on the cables, which means down here on the input we've got insert blue. So therefore it'll take from the blue chest and insert, which will basically fill this with fertilizer. That input blue will also do dirt eventually, and potentially also do the saplings if I can figure out how to get different saplings in different places. I'm not 100% sure yet that I can, but I may be able to bring it round another way and put it in another side or something. But that's a lot more wiring, and I'm not sure I want to. I'm not sure I need to. I might just come and put 6 stacks of whatever type of wood sapling I want to do at the time, because it doesn't automatically do itself, which is slightly obscure, but never mind. And actually, I could possibly just put another item duct going into there, sticking up out of the ground, and have that set to green, so it'll export green and then try and put back in green. And the only things it can put back in would be the saplings of its kind. Everything else would go off to the chest. So yeah, there's a thing that I could do. But that would look a little bit bleh. But maybe if I put another hatch next door, then it'll take out and go that way first. Yeah, I think there's a way to do it without more cables, that it'll restock its own saplings before moving on the saplings to the external chest. Hopefully that'll work. So yeah, that's the little tricks and tips and stuff that we've got going on. I've sealed all of the top level in with some half slabs, so it's nice and neat. And I've kind of wrecked the downstairs bit a little ways because of, well, whatever. But I have got a lot of stock, so I'm getting a lot of apples to eat. So my food supply is sorted, and I'm getting a lot of wood, which will have a carbon value. Loads in here as well, loads more apples. I've got some saplings and some bits and pieces kicking around from the farms that I'm doing. Hey, slime. I've also got a slime chunk down here. Yeah. And I'm getting lots and lots of slime balls and slime crystal things. Yeah. Lots of slime balls. I'm sick of the sight of slime balls, really. But can't half slab the whole place just yet. Well, I could spend the time to half slab the whole place, but, well, a few slime balls is not really that much of a problem to deal with. I'll have a few slime balls. Next, I'm setting up this power supply, the Syngas. Nobody has corrected me on my pronunciation of Syngas, so it is Syngas as far as I'm concerned for now. And that is the next thing that I want to work on down here. I want to try and get it so that the farm itself, or rather all 4 tree farms, is producing not only wood for me to use, but also using wood to burn in this thing in order to make carbon. It makes carbon in this Syngas, and then the carbon plus water equals Syngas production. Syngas production. And at the moment, I've just tested it out, and I've got a tank full here. And this is the simplest of setups. It is the controller itself, which is needed for them all, and you also need a mixing chamber, which I guess is this bit here, the mixing chamber. So you've got to have the control panel and the mixing chamber to make it work. Then you need a fluid intake to intake water. So I've just got water coming in from this little water supply I've got rigged up over here. And a heating chamber here does the heating of the water, I believe. I believe it does heat. It slowly does heat, but it does heat. And then we need a fluid output valve to output the Syngas when we're done. So then we can put the gas into a gas turbine and make power. So what I would like to achieve today, this episode, is have something, maybe something that exists down here only, that takes the logs and a water supply and turns them into gas, and then uses the gas to create power, and then puts the power back down into the farms. So the farms will be producing power for themselves in this little block setup, and then what's left over will be all the logs that we don't use in Syngas production, and excess gas itself that we don't use in the turbine, so that then I can transfer that gas over to somewhere else. We now have in the pack ender tanks. We've got ender tanks and ender buckets. So ender tanks being presumably a way to transfer liquids in the same way as the old ender tanks did from, I think it was chicken chunks or chicken code chicken or whatever. Yeah, it was the old ender chests which had ender tanks and ender chests. So I'm hoping that does the same thing, and I can just transport any Syngas over to another gas turbine somewhere else to power that up. So I should, in theory, be making more gas than I need, and then have enough power to power the farm and enough gas to power some other things elsewhere. That's my theory, that's my plan, and that is what we're going to get done today. But as you may have seen down in the chat log, we're about to have a restart in 5 minutes, so I'm going to get creating some of the gas turbine parts so that we can at least take this gas production and get a gas turbine on the go to see just how much I need to make in order to make the farms run. And then I can overdo the gas production itself. As long as I've got just enough to make the farms run constantly, and then everything else can go into making tons and tons of gas from the produce of the farms, then I should be able to just try and compact it all. So I'll probably kind of spread it out all over the place to start off with, and then after the episode I should compact it all down into a finished block that can be active and busy. There's another little thing that I've had a few problems with, and it looks like that RF is all gone. Okay, another little thing that I've had some problems with was the kind of frame rate loss that I've been getting from the trees being cut down. I expect that it's something to do with the leaves being sheared, and having the fast leaf decay fighting with the forestry, because the forestry farms do fast leaf decay naturally, and there's a mod that does fast leaf decay as well. So I reckon that, with all the lighting updates and all that kind of stuff, because lighting changes on the floor level when passing through the tree leaves and all that kind of stuff, I have a feeling that that is what's causing the lag itself. Removing the actual leaves from the trees in the quick process, the decay. So I'm going to have to watch out for that while I'm recording around the area as well, because I get frame rate drops. I can actually drop from around 200 to 9 while the trees are being harvested. And that's quite a big drop. Yes, especially when you're fighting slimes and things like that around the place. So I've got to be careful with how much it's running. I'm glad I've done quite small farms as well. But anyway, I'll be back after the restart. One of the things I mentioned while I was saying I was going to get ready for this was the ender tanks and ender buckets. Look pretty cool, but they did take me a little while to make because of the blaze rods. I had to go to the nether and camp out at the makeshift blaze farm for ages with no looting on my sword whatsoever. I've got Soul Stealer on it, but, well, it doesn't do anything for me against blazes to get more blaze rods. So I had to stand there for about 10-20 minutes just getting the blaze rods to make this, and I've got enough to make another tank. So I'm good. I'm good. How to make them private, I'm not 100% sure yet. I guess you tap it with a diamond or something like you've done before. But for right now, I just wanted to test it, because I'm getting kind of sick of taking the fluid tanks to the lava and then bringing the fluid tanks back afterwards, and then letting them empty out and then taking them back and going to find the lava again. So I figured I would try out this ender bucket. Now, I've already tested it out with water, and it literally, a white bucket goes to a white tank. Just as simple as that. Just as simple as you like. Now, on my map, I've got very little lava left. Very little lava left over there. But I'm going to see if I can scoop it up a lot faster. Because basically, as fast as I can pick it up, it will go into that tank, as far as I can tell. So I'm going to try and clear out some lava around these areas, without falling in, of course. Try and clean out some of this lava and get those tanks filled up without too much mess. Whoa, that was close, wasn't it? Can I get it there? Yeah. There. Oh, it's got to slowly come out. No, it's okay. Maybe that was, I click it there and it tells me it's empty. Aha. Okay. So it doesn't empty out immediately. It empties out over a short space of time. So I can't just keep... I can kind of just keep going like this. Just keep clicking at the lava. Random clicking at the lava and slowly but surely take all the lava. Put it all into my pumps back. All my tanks back at the base area without ever needing to like physically move the tanks around. I can just keep getting it. It carries over 10k as well there. That's pretty good, isn't it? And it never puts it back down. I just carry on right clicking around the place like this. I can see potentials all over the place with maybe blood magic and stuff. Anyone who knows blood magic, rituals of lava, may understand where I'm probably going with that. Some kind of automation of right-clicking the lava with a bucket, automatically putting it into the tanks and all that kind of stuff. Sounds good. Oh, there's another message over there on the Discord group. It's very busy at the minute because there's so much to talk about and so many things that we've got ideas for. So I've got it open at the minute. Normally I'd close it while I was recording because of those little beeps every now and again saying, you've got a message, somebody's talking about something that you're interested in. There's a message going on. And there's lots of interesting things going on at the minute. Not only in the Patreon Discord chats, but also in the Hypermine Discord chats about all sorts of cool things that potentially you'll be seeing fairly soon. Oh man, look at all this though. Look, it's just literally taken 18k of liquid, and it's holding liquid. I can just hold down right click. I don't even need to like physically keep clicking. I can just hold down right click and wander through lava lakes. I just wander through lava lakes filling it up. Wow. Awesome. Another new feature is the way that F7 works now. This is lighting. Instead of X's, it has those. It takes a minute fraction of a second more to tell us that the lighting has updated. But still, you see that spot there? That's like the same as the red crosses that used to be. But light it up and it takes just those few seconds more to get rid of. I don't know if that's just kind of a little bug in the code right now or what. But anyway, let's go back. That should have adequately filled my tank. Maybe this is how much is in the tank right now. Currently empty according to that. So the tank is currently empty. And it's empty and it's already gone. And it's already been used. And this is full of lava again. Yeah, 16 buckets of lava it can hold. So wow, that soon goes, doesn't it? But now the power's caught up again over here with that full and so on. So now I can do a few bits and pieces in here to make a few bits and pieces that I need, to make a few bits and pieces for that, and to make a few bits and pieces for this. So I got to make a few more bits and pieces. But I have enjoyed playing around with the ender tank and the ender bucket. Imagine just going into the nether with it. Just going into the nether with this ender bucket and just sitting there by a lava lake, just right clicking and just filling up from all the lava in the nether. Ha 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 ha. One way to fill up, isn't it? Alrighty, so it's running again. We've got it running and it's running off very little power. Like this little section here, we've got a little bit of fluid that I got in the tank from setting it up before to test it out, and look, it's full of power. It really is not using much to do the processing and the farms. I mean, up to 40, 50, and then back down to nothing while it waits for another tree to grow. So those forestry farms really don't take a lot of power energy whatsoever. Nothing, virtually nothing. So 200 RF a tick from 2 iron turbines is actually too much. So I'm gonna grab one of them back because we don't need it. I'm gonna grab that back because we really only need the very basic core processing for 100 RF per tick is more than enough to keep it all running smoothly, all 4 farms. So producing enough Syngas to keep up with that, well, I don't know how much it's fuel efficiency 110%. I don't know how much fuel it's actually going to use to make that 100 RF per tick. I mean, it doesn't do anything right now. It goes up 15 there, and then it's using 0.05 millibuckets per tick at the best there. So I'm really not going to need to have a really elaborate system. Oh man, I keep getting those little lag spikes when trees are going on. Yep. But never mind. Right, so yeah, I was going to put all of these blocks back in place to cover things over. There is a thing that I want to do at the sides with that to try and put another hatch in, but I'll do those tomorrow. I'll see what ideas I can get to where to put them and all that kind of stuff. But I just want to kind of just seal in this area again, just to see roughly where we're at visual-wise. Because this is a lot more about the visuals and hiding things underground and all that kind of stuff. One of the reasons I like the Ender IO cables, not only can I hide them underground, I can pipe in all 3 different types of things all at once in one block space, but I can also disguise them in blocks as well, which I may be doing a bit later on as part of this build, because I've got this central column here that's going to have a little bit of disguise work done to it. But for right now, we're looking good. I just need to set up the Syngas production, or the producer, in order to make this work, and have all of it running at the same time, and hopefully doing everything properly. But anyway, I'll finish off all of the little decorational pieces. There was another little decorational piece that I wanted to test out while I've got you here, so I can do it afterwards. And that was just very, very simply just hiding that dirt underneath here. Hiding the dirt a little bit, just by putting a ring of stairs around. And I'm also considering that this section here, I don't really want it to be too big. This section here, maybe just in those couple of spots, not even fully ringing it around, but kind of just there and there. So even leaving that little touch there just out the way, just to give it a little bit of a slope up. And then I can hide all the cables and stuff into blocks as well. Let's put a couple of slabs down here just to hide this little bit. And get rid of that one and that one as well. There we go. And that's all spawn free, you see. But that would just sit in the middle and hopefully have like a column through the middle of all this kind of stuff. So, column of this kind of stuff. What are we going to do? So, well, we can take this out of here, right, and put the output directly onto that block there. So that's going to connect output-wise. Yes, that's good. I think that is already going to be outputting because it's been doing it so far. Right, not connected to a valid machine yet. I get it. Then I would probably want the controller at this height. Let's take the controller. So we'll have the controller connected to it at this height. Now it's connected to a nearly valid machine. And then if I'm going to keep everything below that, then I probably want to do this. Whoop. Wow. Lag. I probably want to do this. Where is it? There it is. The iron turbine on top of that. Oh, come on. Yeah, on top of that. And then I've still got a bit of space underneath the slabs to put this import. Okay. Oh man, this is getting dangerously compact, isn't it? Dangerously compact. And the fluid intake will go. Well, I really want it to go on top of that, don't I? So let's try and get this so that I can step on top of it. Oh, lag. You heard a tree going, didn't you? I heard the tree as well. That tree cutting is killing me. Oh, man, that slime is killing me. Why? It's come all this way just to have a go at me. What's so special? Why do you want to fight me? Why do you want to fight me? Get away, get away, get away. I'm still randomly clicking. I'm still like power clicking on these things. When I started with the big guys, I started waiting, slash, waiting, slash, waiting, slash. On the little guys, I just go tap, 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 because they still only take one hit. So it still gets rid of them if I hit them. Which is good and fine and dandy. Alright, so yeah, we're kind of getting to the right point over here. I do need to just, I don't know, just like make I need a space for the tank as well, don't I? So maybe if I put this on slightly differently. So we've got the turbine already done. It was not the mixing chamber, it was the fluid intake, that was it. We put the fluid intake on there. And then around this side we put the tank there. We make that tank output to the side. So you got any outputs at the minute? Yeah, it's got some outputs at the minute. We'll get rid of that and we'll push it out that way. There we go. And any other connections? Nope. Good. Okay. So now that will push out into there, fill it up, and then we should start making RF per tick. And even when it's running full whack, it's still using 0.1 millibuckets per tick. So it's never going to use all of that Syngas. The Syngas is going to last for a very long time. It's just going down by 1. So all I need to do is replace it by that 1, and we're good. So let's take this out. And this out. We've got a lot of stuff in there. Yes, we've got a lot of stuff in there. We're probably better to transfer that all over then. And all of the machines want to drop stuff on my face while I'm doing this. Okay, fine. Put that in there. Take some more. Wow. This is efficiency. That is for sure. Man, put that in there. Get rid. Any more? Let's take some more of this. Oh, man, there's so much stock to get rid of. I was hoping that this would be a little easier than this. I want excess stock to go up, straight up through though. So I need to come up with a way to store it better. And I need that chest out the way for now, just so that I can get on with making the setup right. Just to start off with at least. Right, put that in there. There we go. Right, some of these I can put in the right places. So I think this one is the jungle saplings, I think. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm not going to guess because I might get it wrong. Let's put all that in there. Okay, nearly ready for a hack down. Boing! Loads of stuff everywhere. Right. Chuck that in there, there we go. And get some more. Thank you. Any more for any more? There we go. A chest. Good, good. Alright. Now, I reckon, you see, I reckon that the item transfer can happen much lower down here. So, I'm going to take this. I could potentially do it there as well, but I don't know how they can not connect. So we need an item input, which is that one, and that can be used for the controller, producer, right? So that's there. We're going to need the controller, so I'm going to put the controller. Will it work there? Will it connect? It won't connect to that one. That's okay then, right? And I'll put the fluid output there. And I'll put a heating chamber. I actually need a fluid intake, so I'll put the heating chamber up there. It's not connecting to the other one, as I can tell right now, because they're two different systems. And then we'll have a fluid intake down here, which should be connected to a water. Let's put it on there. Can I not put it on there? Can I not place that down there? No, because it's got two potentials. Okay, so maybe I'll have to put that on the top. Mixing chamber, though, that is only Syngas, so that should be able to go there. Unfortunately, that's not water in, is it? I've got items in, but I haven't got water going in. because that's too close. All right, well, it was getting there. I was trying very, very hard to get it all lined up right, but it's not quite worked out that way, has it? Fluid output. I don't know if the fluid output will connect to this or not. We've got fluid intake, maybe fluid output on this one wrapped under there. Then maybe... oh, man. It was going to be so perfect. It was going to be so perfect. A nice little column with the two machines all next to each other, with all the controllers and everything next to each other. It was going to be so wonderful, so perfect. But instead, I'm not getting it. I'm going to have to make it slightly bigger or slightly different at least. But then again, I did want this gas producer to be bigger to give us more fluid. So maybe the gas producer needs to be up on top here. And the power can still be down here. Yeah. But in effect, let's take a couple of stacks of these. In effect... Oh, I've got no water going in there. Okay, so not quite what I want to do. That power out. Could the power out go somewhere else? Maybe if the power out was here. Yeah. And then I could set this up there. Right, so the power out still outputting power, yeah. So that's all we've moved there. And then potentially the mixing chamber could go there because that's not connecting to that. And then the fluid intake could go there because that then wraps around that way. But the fluid intake chamber is not touching any of the gas turbine controller blocks. So now it's receiving water. It's going to get the items from underneath as well. I just need to set the correct output things to make it automatically refill with all the jungle wood and then go through there. It's definitely not my final design, but I kind of like the simplicity of it, that it's all just sitting there. All of these advanced generators all sitting together. But I need an excess stock because, well, the amount it produces so much. I need an excess stock. I need that excess stock to be up there in barrels and storage and stuff. So that's not the final thing, but that will do for today's episode. I think that will do. That will do for today's episode. So thank you very, very much for watching another episode on the Hypermine Unstable. I'll be seeing you next time, which won't be very long at all because I'm enjoying this and I want to do more.